Well, marriage boot camp seems to not really care about being interesting, so I can't give it my full intro of it all. Let's just get through the book of it all. You know what I'm saying? We already know. Hello, 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 JayBirds. Relax, relate, release, boom. Okay? Fill in the blanks, because I'm like, honey, no, thank you. Okay, corrupt still out here fussing on the phone. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Negro, just leave. Okay, buy a new phone, pack up your bags, and get out. But I'm going to leave that be. Okay, but we know he want to get out to get some liquor. Okay, maybe get some vagina. Possibly. But still, he wants to go. So they let him leave. They call him a whole car. And he goes wherever he goes or whatever. And as he's leaving, Tony is upstairs, looking down like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you're going to just leave and go to the hotel? You called your friend to bring you some liquor? You probably called that homeless bitch? I'm like, why are you obsessed with the homeless chick? I'm like, girl, bye. But he leaves. So I guess go get some liquor and be with a homeless chick. Okay, I don't get why Tony stays with him. I don't get how on day one, when they saw Corrupt had a whole drinking problem, why wasn't he put somewhere else then? Like, this is day 8. No, it was day 7. It was the night of day 7. But for what? I just feel like this whole season was a bunch of book. Now, we do know this season was recorded before the last season that happened. Whatever the last season was that I believe I reviewed or I ignored, I'm not sure. This was recorded before that. It just didn't air because of all the stuff they had to go through with the J-Cum situation, whatever. But I'm like, that's how we should have known back then. This season was going to be either really, really good or some mediocre bullshit. This has been some real mediocre bullshit, if you ask me. It's some D-list ass celebrities, a goddamn alcoholic ass celebrity, ZZ ass delusional self who don't know what she famous for, but she thinks it's everything. Willie and Shonda, who was a married couple who has been cheating on each other their whole damn marriage. We know Willie ain't shit. And then fake ass Phaedra and Medina. If marriage boot camp don't care, why the fuck should we? Okay, now at this point, it's a bullshit season, so you're gonna get a bullshit review. Okay, now ZZ and I'm calling my real name because it's a serious thing. Hazel and Devon are sad because she had a miscarriage. Okay, however, Dr. Ish then said you probably was pregnant a few months ago. Okay, a few months ago, and the baby you probably miscarried then, but now your body is just releasing, everything. Because usually if you have a miscarriage sometime or whatever, they try to clean you out unless everything flushes itself out. So he says he thinks that's what's happening now. But she had already lost the child and it's just not passing through or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they, of course, is having an emotional moment. They're trying to wrap their head around the whole situation or whatnot. We see Terry and Vado not even in the same house. So why they wasn't ever gonna get married. Why they in boot camp? Okay, we got Corrupt and Tony who not in the same house because he gone at a hotel for the night and she up there in the volcano room. Why is they here and why they not on celebrity rehab? They both need rehab. Okay, let's not act like Tony don't look like she drink just as much as the Corrupt does. Again, Phage and Medina somewhere faking the funk when the funk hit the fan. It's some bullshit, okay? And then, of course, Willie and Shauna just married for no damn reason. We then see Justin Toler go to talk to Tahiri because we're going to let Vado come back, but if you don't feel safe, just say the word. You know what I'm saying? You will not be alone with him. You don't have to sit next to him or nothing. And Tahiri is telling y'all, like, I'm not worried about him. I ain't scared. Like, he can come sit right here. I'm good. Because, one, she used to it. And two, as she kept saying, I think he just lost his cool. I almost don't think he's abusive. I almost think it was a fucked up reaction. But I don't know. But I still feel like he was wrong and she was wrong. Boom. Okay, but they like, you have all the power here. The fact that they have not addressed her issues on camera pisses me off. Dr. Ish just went on his Twitter and said, we talked to her in detail, but none of that made it to air. Because I feel like production thought everyone is going to side with Tahiri and they're going to be against Vito. So let's make it seem like she's 100% this innocent, did not do anything at all, victim as female, because people will support that. And they ain't realized we saw they both did wrong. You know what I'm saying? I have never said Tahiri's actions made her deserve what he did. I would never say that. But what I will say is her actions were wrong. It did not mean that she deserved to get yoked up, but her actions were wrong. If I punch you in the face, it don't mean that you should shoot me in the head, but I should not have punched you in the face. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at things. Okay. Anyway, so boom. Okay. We then see Dr. Ish and told her talk about corrupting Tony. You know what I'm saying? They like, look, they are lost cause for the program. They've been one since the first day. So was Medina and Phaedra, but I'm going to leave that be. And so they feel like Corrupt needs rehab. And like, this is just not the place for him. And if he leaves, there's no point in Tony being here because she don't have nothing to work on because she just as closed off as his ass is, okay? And if y'all ain't did no work on her in the past 7 days, you can't fix her ass or even start to fix her ass in 2 days, okay? So when Corrupt pulls up outside, they don't even bring Corrupt back in the house. Dr. Ish talked to Corrupt in the driveway, the bottom of the driveway at that, okay, about his things and whatnot. And so he like, so Corrupt, about the drinking. He like, man, why are we talking about drinking? You know what I'm saying? I enjoy being away from Tony. And you know what I'm saying? I don't get why we talk about my drinking when Tony was the one wilding out last night. I'm like, look, Corrupt is 100% an alcoholic. He 100% needs to be in rehab. Okay? Point blank, period. I can tell that his team had him come on the show because he probably just needed some money. Because he probably going in debt because he drank too goddamn much or whatever. But, Dr. Ish like, look, this ain't about Tony or nothing like that or whatever. We took the dark look out the house and then you want to leave. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, we need you to know. You know what I'm saying? We see you tired. We see the Tony's tired. Y'all both tired. But what we do know is you need rehab. So if I'm willing to do this, if you will agree to take if we'll have a car take, because he was just in the car, we'll have a car take you to the rehab. Right now, we can help you right now if you agree to go to rehab. He's like, man, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I already did rehab. I didn't like it. Meaning he is perfectly okay drinking himself until he doesn't drink anymore. Okay, that's fine. I'm saying, well, this is where things end for us. We wish you the best because we can't help you here. So, toodaloo. Okay, he like, all right, you know what I'm saying, cool. And he left with no issue. Boom. Because he feels somewhere and get drank probably with, a homeless hoe. I don't know. They say they don't know where he went. They don't know if he stayed in LA, or if he went back to Vegas, whatever. He out here in the wind. Gone with the wind. Okay. And and Corrupt say he understand why they doing it, whatever. He's good with it. He's fine. He leaves. Now, Justin told her, goes and talk to Tony. I wasn't listening too much. I heard, we wish you the best. You are dismissed. Paraphrasing. Because, Corrupt done. He don't want to go to rehab. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no point you being here. Bye, 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 or whatever. NC. Tony says in her little confessional, it's sad that we couldn't get past the arguments or the drinking because you kept bringing it up and he kept drinking, okay? If you would have stopped bringing up the homeless bitch, y'all may have been able to correctly address his drinking, but you kept bringing up the homeless bitch. Y'all both played a major part in y'all not being able to properly work on your issues, mainly because Corrupt is a goddamn alcoholic. and you staying with him is stupid. You coming to marriage boot camp with a known cheating alcoholic was stupid, Tony. So that means you need help too. Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, all of the above. Okay? You both played to the bullshit of it all, and now y'all gone on fucking day 7. Well, day 8, not the morning of day 8. So we then see Votto back in the house or whatever, but only for the day. At the end of the day, he would go back to the hotel, okay? But he is told that he would not be alone with the Tahiri. Boom, bam, bam, okay? He brings up how, he now fully realizes that what he did was completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? He said, it makes me feel weak. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is a weak man, and I acknowledge and I know that now. And I don't think it's that he did not know it before. I think his thing was, she did this, so I did that. You know what I'm saying? But he realized, okay, none of that matters and whatnot. He said he also spoke to his mom and told her what happened and the reason for it happening or whatever. She's like, that don't matter. Like, I didn't raise you to do that. That was some full-on bullshit, which made him further realize, yeah, I really fucked up. You can see he now fully understands what he did was wrong. But why didn't they ask to hear the conference? Tahiri will always jump bad at a dude because no one addresses her anger issues. And again, her anger issues and her jumping bad at a dude does not mean she deserves whatever. I gotta keep... If you think she deserves it, no, bitch. That ain't what I said, okay? Don't put words in my mouth. But it needs to be addressed, okay? My hair, I can be blowing my face and it's kind of crazy. Anyway, because there's a fan on over there. We then see they separate the couples, okay, for the exercise. They do this every season, where they have the people talk about good or bad things from their childhood, to draw it on this, or they put it on something, and they had kids come act this shit out later. That's what this is and whatnot. So Shonda brings up how she was a daddy's girl, and the older she got, her dad made her feel like she wasn't good enough. Dr. Ed said, yeah, that's just like Willie. You have, the longer y'all have been together, you feel less and less worthy, like you're not good. I'm like, girl, no, her husband's a cheater, she needs to leave him. Willie brings up how he had a gun pulled on him before, and how his grandfather died was, very, very hard for him. And if his grandfather was alive, he would tell him to do whatever he needs to do to fix his marriage, and he would not be happy with Willie out here, giving the dick to everybody. Okay, Medina brings up how, to me, Medina had one of the most interesting stories as a child. He brings up how his mom suffered from schizophrenia, and so that means they be it'd be crazy or whatever. He said, so when I was younger, as a little kid, we would stay wherever, like in random hotels, in abandoned hotels, and train stations, and abandoned cars, just wherever she went, they went or whatever. He said at one point he remembers that she tried to sell his little brother at the mall, and that made her be committed, and then he never saw her again. I'm looking like, damn, just to know what he probably been through as a kid is probably so mind-boggling. I would have loved to have heard more about his childhood or whatever. Anyway, Phaedra brings up how her grandfather was very light-skinned, he passed for white. And so when she was younger, and she was, down there, and down in Georgia, in whatever little town, her grandfather was getting passed for white. When she would be with him, she's a darker skinned kid, she said people would say, who's the Nigger baby. Okay. So her aunt told her, like, you always have to be put together because you're not as light as the rest of the family, which is why she now is always trying to make sure everything looks perfect. Because she was a kid, so they called her names because she was not as light as other people. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Hazel brings up her mom dated multiple abusive men, and one who broke her nose at one point because she was trying to help her mom fight. That's crazy. And, she says, so that's why now she always wants to be in control and does not want to date abusive people. But Devon is abusive. Anyway, Decepticon brings up how he was an angry kid. He was a spoiled kid, got what he wanted, and if he did not get what he wanted, he acted out, like he does now. So he hasn't grown up. He's a, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. He's a Toys R Us kid. Tahiri brings up how her dad sold drugs and then got arrested. And so she did not realize she was older that wasn't normal. But you dating a guy named Vado, which means violence, drugs only. So did you really learn a lesson? Like, I feel like... Let me move on. Vado brings up how his dad was beaten up by the police. How dad went to jail and then Vado went to jail. It's a cycle. But at the end of the day, you like the police. And that was what it was or whatever. So we then see the cast, all sitting around, and stuff. And, they say, have you seen Vado yet? Because they had the groups separate. So, of course, Tahiri and Vado were in different groups, right now and stuff and whatnot. It's like, well, no, I haven't seen him yet. But I hope he's learned a lesson. But have you learned yours? It's like, they really acting like Tahiri did nothing that needs to be addressed. Okay? I don't like it. Anyway, so we then see outside, for the first time, they see each other from across the room. And he said, like, looking at her, he feels like shit. Like, he feels whack for what he did to her. I'm like, that's a good thing. He has true remorse or whatever. Now, they, of course, have the kids come act shit out. The kids come out, I am Vado. I do violent drugs only. I'm to here. I'll never go to adult school because she says a kid. To the kids, prison was adult school. I'm looking like, adults get education in there, but that ain't a place to be. So again, that was that. I didn't listen too much. It's the same thing every year. I've already heard them say these things. The only difference is now they're seeing the kids, their age, say, my mom has schizophrenia, or, my mom's boyfriend, beats her and beats me too. When Lil Hazel came out, first of all, they had Lil Hazel played by a dark skin, a chocolate, beautiful chocolate skin little girl, play Hazel. And when she came out with the bandage on her nose, I giggled. And I said because I don't like Hazel as an adult or as a child, but I'm like, whatever. But all the adults cried. Only Divine was like, oh, that's cool. I am a kid. I do get mad. I do get what I want. I'm looking like, because he's still a child. Fucking Decepticon. Anyway, so, and I wasn't fully listening to anything or whatever. But again, Divine still thinks how he acts is fine. And then Hazel and Divine starts like talking shit in the confession, like, yeah, Willie and Shonda or whoever acted as if they had it so bad. I'm looking like, bitch. And I said in my head, that's why I giggled when your kid came out with that bend or nose, and I don't like using the door as a kid. I don't like ZZ. I feel like her purpose in life is to act as if, I don't know why, my rap career doesn't take off because, only the drama, because that's what you do. Like, people don't like you because of who you are. You are a evil, spiteful, jealous, and you jealous for no reason, envious person. Like, there was no reason for you to say that Willie and Shonda, Willie who brought up how the death of his grandfather hurt him, and Shonda who brought up how her father making her feel as if she wasn't good enough hurt her. I'm like, those are real ass issues that kids have. So for ZZ and for Decepticon to be like acting as if they was over there being extra, bitch, no, y'all being extra right now, and I don't like you. Okay. Anyway, we then see Judge Lintola comes out, and they then make Vado. Oh, I forgot. These are all the couples sitting around. I took this because I'm like, this is all that's left. Okay, fake ass Phaedra and Medina. Abusive ass Devon and ZZ. Aggressive Tahiri and cheating ass Willie and Shonda. This is all that's left of the marriage at the boot camp. I'm like, girl, y'all wasted a whole... They probably took this long to do the season because they didn't have enough footage. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Anyway, Judge then told her, brings up how Vado, you had some homework, right? Vado then gets up there, honey, and has to apologize to... And I had to put myself in the middle, okay? Vado gets up and has to apologize to Tahiri. Look at how Tahiri is looking at him as he's talking. This is Tahiri looking at Vado as she saw him for the first time and he's apologizing to her. First of all, she looking like I want to fuck. What it is, so what's up? That's how she look. I digress. Okay. Anyway, he I think he rapped his apology because all the words rhymed. Again, I wasn't listening that much to figure out what he said. I heard him say, you know what I'm saying, I apologize, I'm sorry, and something like that could never happen again. And he said other stuff in there that was real nice, but I ain't got time to be listening that damn hard. But the fact that Tahiri never got up to, you know what, I accept your apology, and I can also take accountability for myself getting, out of hand to, I should have not, got so angry. So I can take, again, not excusing him at all. Like, I feel like Tahiri acknowledging what she did wrong does not mean what he did was right. And at no point, like, she was sitting and looking like I'm the queen to be of apologies. And I asked, girl, as much as I want to get up and run into his arms and hug and kiss him, I won't do that because he needs to learn his lesson that there are consequences. I'm not going to say how much it aggravates me that we're not just acknowledging that she has anger issues. I just can't. Okay, tomorrow is lie detector test day, and so that's what has to happen. The ending scene is ZZ and Decepticon up in the kitchen talking because she feel like, I keep doing for you and providing for you or whatever, and you can't keep acting like you're not entitled. And he said, I'm not entitled, I'm blessed. You're not blessed. Blessed is when you actively do things that work out in your favor. If you keep fucking old women for money, you are a prostitute. You're a male hooker. You're not blessed. You might have good dick, and that's a blessing. I'll give you that. But you're not blessed, son. You don't have things because you worked at it. You're a 25-year-old handsome man, probably with good dick. I mean, you're not blessed. You're lucky. And when you get older, you'll have nothing because you haven't worked for anything. You have any skills? Nothing. You have no AARP, no Social Security, no stocks, no bonds, no savings, no work, none of that because you are your fucking Hazel E. Girl, bye, okay? And that was really, he did say, like, if you keep acting like that or whatever, like, you're gonna go get, another dude, so you're gonna be like, oh, girl, you're gonna be single. How can a person who don't bring nothing to the relationship, to the table besides dick, how do you allow him to talk to you that way? Because again, him and Hazel have a whole kid together now. Girl, that was the whole episode, and I'm done. Peace.